More people have been charged or sentenced in relation to the recent unrest across parts of the UK. Among them, 27-year-old Thomas Burley has pleaded guilty to arson with intent to endanger life. He's accused of stoking a fire outside a hotel housing asylum seekers. Our UK Affairs correspondent Daniel Sanford reports.
The riot at a hotel housing asylum seekers near Rotherham was one of the worst of this summer. At one point, some of the angry mob pushed a burning bin up against a doorway, trying to set the building on fire. Today, Thomas Burley pleaded guilty to arson with intent to endanger life. The judge warned him that a life sentence was possible. Also at the Rotherham riot was Peter Beard, seen here in the dark blue polo shirt and shorts, repeatedly attacking the line of riot officers trying to protect the hotel. He's a former soldier who served as a peacekeeper in Bosnia and Kosovo. The judge said his conduct had been shameful and disgraceful and jailed him for 2.5 years. At the first riot in Southport, police officers were caught in a vehicle as the mob pelted them with rocks and bins. At one point, Luke Moran tried to smash their window with a large piece of masonry. The father of 3 was jailed for 3 years at Liverpool Crown Court. The judge said it was the worst case he'd seen so far. More than 150 people have now been sent to prison for their roles in the riots, including Perry Fisher, who missed his first court appearance because he went on holiday to Dubai. He was jailed for 29 months today for his part in the disorder in Aldershot. Daniel Sanford, BBC News.
Well, I'm joined by Daniel De Simone, our investigations correspondent. Daniel, how much do we know about the people who took part in this disorder?
Well, the truth is, because there's so many people that were involved, and we've seen already at least 446 people charged in relation to disorder in England and Wales, that there's a real range of people. And when you talk about far-right riots, and it's been characterised as that from the Prime Minister downwards, you tend to think of far-right groups and organisations. But the truth is that although we can show that there's some far-right people who've been involved with groups at these riots and present, most of them haven't. Most of the people who are there, you cannot show them involved with groups previously.
So it wouldn't be right to say that this is organised disorder?
Not really. It was bigger than that. I think that's one of the disturbing things about it. It sort of shows the kind of anarchy of right-wing extremism today. It's kind of moved beyond being just about groups and organisations. And when you look at previous attacks and violence in the UK, really serious attacks deemed to be terrorist attacks by judges and the authorities. You're talking about lone actors who get radicalised online very quickly. They're not involved with groups. I think what the authorities will be really worried about in this instance is you have hundreds of people who are getting involved in far-right violence, who have not previously been linked to groups. They're not neo-Nazis, but they went out, they got involved in violence. I think that's a real worry for the authorities, and although a lot of the focus has been on the sentencing and the criminal process, I think that the authorities, MI5, the police, the government, will be thinking about if they've kind of got more of a threat in this country from the far right than they previously imagined.
OK, thank you very much. Daniel De Simone there. Well, meanwhile, a man in Pakistan has been arrested on suspicion of cyber-terrorism in relation to disinformation thought to have fuelled the unrest here. Police in Lahore say Farhan Asif was linked to the website which published false claims about last month's stabbings in Southport, giving a wrong name for the suspected attacker and suggesting that he was an asylum seeker.